All right, hello and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be predicting the play-in tournament, which starts officially tomorrow as I'm recording this. As today is Monday, April 14th. Starting over here in the East, we've got the Magic and the Hawks facing off against each other in the game for the 7. Magic have had a roller coaster ride of a season, but they've actually been playing a lot better down the stretch of the season. I believe in the last 2 weeks of the year, they're actually ranked 5th in terms of net rating across the whole league. So they're definitely catching their stride around the right time leading into this play-in tournament. They are without Jalen Suggs, their third best player. He's out for the season. But on the Hawks side, they're without their second best player, Jalen Johnson, who's also out for the season. Trae Young has altered his game a lot, really shifted how he's playing this year. I think I saw a stat that said that he's set more screens this season alone than the rest of his career combined. You know, he's really getting others involved, playing a more democratic style of basketball. And then Dyson Daniels, the great barrier thief, has been a big surprise for the Hawks this season. And, he's kind of been Trae Young's perfect foil in the backcourt. But I think I'm going to favor the Magic with Franz and Paolo being able to get this game over the Atlanta Hawks, which will send them to play the Celtics in the first round in the 2-7. And it will send the Hawks over here to the game for the 8 to face the winner of the 9-10. The Heat have been sliding a lot, but the Bulls, they've been on a tear ever since the trade deadline, really, when they traded off LaVine and, started going to Giddey more as more of the on-ball option, as well as Kobe White. Both those guys got more reps. They also brought in some new guys through that LaVine trade, mainly Kevin Huerter. And the Heat really, ever since the same trade deadline, moment when they traded off Butler, have been, seems like almost tanking at times. The East over here, especially these bottom teams, not great records on the year. I think all of these teams are losing other than the Magic. I think they're 500, right at 41 wins. Everybody else is sub 500. And I believe the Heat only won 37 games, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, I feel pretty good about the Bulls coming out of this one. And honestly, these 3 teams here, the Hawks, the Bulls, and the Heat, are kind of just East play-in mainstays. I feel like they've all 3 been in the play-in every single year of its existence. Honestly, I would be interested to see if that is true, because I honestly think it might be. Other than maybe one year the Bulls were the 6th seed, maybe just barely making it in there over the play-in. But I feel like these guys are always in the play-in. Toronto, another team that's in there pretty frequently. I feel like it's a little bit, there's, some mainstays in the West, but it's not as apparent, I feel like, as it is here in the East. But so then, looking at the game for the 8, we've got the Hawks versus the Bulls. And this one really could go either way. Hawks are a good team, but I'm really riding the Bulls momentum. I'm going to take the Bulls in this one just as kind of like a fun pick, And so then that gives me the Chicago Bulls as the 8th seed facing off against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round in the 1-8 matchup. I'm pretty sure the train is going to stop here for both of these teams. But then looking over in the West, we've got a little bit different of a situation. We've got the Warriors, who I think is by far the best team here in either conference in the play-in. And so then that's really why I'm bringing them up here into the 7. They're winning this game, I think. Definitely could go either way. It's a basketball game, one-off game, anything could happen. And the Grizzlies, having Ja full strength, have been resting him up. Got new head coach there with Tomas Isalo, I think is how you pronounce his name. I'm not totally sure. That's kind of my guess. But Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., all those guys playing, they definitely could make some noise. But the Warriors, what they've been doing ever since they got Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline, and that's just revitalized this team with Steph and Draymond. Even Brandon Podziemski has been way better, night and day difference from the first half of the season. So that's been another key change. And then also Quentin Post, in his second half of his rookie season, kind of coming onto the scene, being a real guy for them. So the Warriors have been trending up, and so I'm going to take them out of that one. And then that will put the Grizzlies over here in the game for the 8. And then over here in the 9-10, we've got the Sacramento Kings going off against the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks have had a weird season, obviously trading one of the best players in the world for not a very good reason at all. But, they still have a kind of scary lineup, even without, their other best player, Kyrie Irving. He's out for the season because he tore his ACL. But AD has come back now, so they've got a lot of really scary bigs, pretty scary defensive lineup that's going to be hard to score on for, a kind of offensive, not even kind of, but very offensive focused team in the Kings. They're going to definitely have their hands full trying to score against Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively. I doubt they'll have all 3 of those guys on the court at the same time, but usually 2 of those guys will be out there. I think they'll play AD at power forward quite a bit, in which case the Kings might go double bigs as well, since they have Valanciunas as a kind of a 6-man, big guy coming off the bench. Sabonis has had a really, really good season. So I do kind of want to reward that with this pick, but at the same time, I think AD coming back and PJ Washington, Najee Marshall, all those other defensive guys that I didn't even mention, playing the way they've been playing, I'm kind of feeling like the Mavs might pull this one off. Yeah, I'm feeling the Mavs on this one. I don't think necessarily that they're the better team. I don't know though, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be the Mavs. That's going to be my pick. And then we got the Grizzlies going up against the Mavs. And in this game, I think this is where I'm going to take the Grizzlies, to be honest. Although I definitely could see the Mavs winning this one as well. I actually, when I was kind of looking at these beforehand, kind of soft making my picks, just, taking my first look at it, I did think I was going to have the Mavs coming in here as the 8 beating the Grizzlies. But I think I'm going to take the Grizzlies. I think I'm just a little bit lower on the Mavs now that I've thought about them even more, like their guards. Like they just don't have a lot going on in terms of guards. So that's why I'm going to audible over to the Grizzlies. But yeah, that'll do it. That'll be the first round here in the Western Conference, at least for the 2-7 and the 1-8 matchups. I got the Rockets versus the Warriors and the Thunder versus the Grizzlies. I actually might slightly lean the Warriors here in the 2-7 matchup to come out of the first round, to be honest. But I think that's the only play-in team that I see being able to potentially win a round here in the playoffs this year in the 2025 NBA postseason, which I am excited for. Hopefully you are as well. Please enjoy it. And thank you for watching the video. I'll see you guys next time.